Give me liberty or give me death. Patrick Henry, 1775. America has always been about freedom, but then so has every tyrant. Has there been a tyrant in modern history who has not promised freedom? Has there been a totalitarian government that has not promised to let justice roll down like waters? Indeed, was it not freedom that Satan promised in the garden? But what is freedom? What does it look like when a society attains it? How does a society move from bondage to freedom? Those are the real questions, and yet they are so rarely asked. Meanwhile, politicians continue to promise freedom, and people continue to believe it, as though freedom were a magic word that delivers its own meaning, a meaning which so few think about until it's too late. Never was a century so dominated by promises of freedom as the 20th century, yet never was a century so dominated by bloodshed, with over 100 million citizens dying at the hands of their own governments. Promise me liberty, but give me death would be an appropriate epitaph for the 20th century. While most in the 21st century would criticize those killings, the fundamental faith in man's ability to define and achieve his own freedom remains unshaken. It is high time for America to recover the real meaning of freedom and where it is found, which is to say, it is high time for Americans to take up the Bible and read. There we find the true story of freedom. There we find our own story, whomever we may be. It's the story of freedom given away by our own hand and given back by the pierced hand of another. It's the story of the long road back from bondage and how all along the way, both the truth and the lie promise freedom, but only the truth delivers it. It's the story of realizing that freedom means more than a change of circumstance. It means a change of heart. It's the story of realizing that freedom lies only in trusting the God who promised freedom, but was accused of tyranny. It's the story of realizing that bondage lies in every form of freedom that man believes he can attain on his own. It's the story of realizing that freedom is the fruit of worshiping the one true God through His Son, Jesus Christ, and that bondage is the fruit of worshiping anything else, including man himself. It is high time Americans realize that any man worship enthrones all man worship, and that a me-worshiping culture will invariably become a state-worshiping culture. Me-worshiping people always cede power to the state in return for individual entertainment. For Rome, it was the Colosseum. For America, it's the internet. Meantime, the freedom-nourishing institutions of marriage, family, church, and local community crumble. You see, nothing can be allowed to come between the power-seeking central government and the pleasure-seeking individual. Has there ever been such an amiable bond between master and slave? That's where America finds herself today. Fortunately, this is what Christ came to deliver us from every form of man worship that wells up so naturally within us and ushers us so easily into every form of self-deceived bondage. Only when Christ is acknowledged as Lord of all do every individual and institution return home and find their resting place, each in its proper sphere, and all working together without shrinking from or adding to their responsibilities or encroaching upon those of another. I will walk at liberty because I seek your precepts, says the psalmist. In that day, declares the Lord of hosts, every one of you will invite his neighbor to come over and sit under his vine and under his fig tree. That is freedom. That is liberty. And now that we understand what it is, let us say with our founders, Give me liberty or give me death.